Hello, and welcome to week 4 of Biblical Exegesis Practicum, where we're going to be studying narrative and how do we interpret biblical narratives. Our passage for this week is going to be 1 Samuel 15, which is a passage about Samuel and King Saul. There are a lot of interesting things happening here in this narrative that I think that you will enjoy working with. So let's go ahead and take a look at our worksheet and talk through sort of what we need to do this week. Okay. To begin with, you've got videos and some assigned readings from your textbooks, a little bit in each of those to start with. And then you've got your passage level reading, passage level observations on 1 Samuel 15. Notice here that I'm not asking you to do book level, largely because 1 Samuel 15 is 1 Samuel is a large book, and I don't want to overwhelm you. We only have so much time this week, and I don't want to give you too much. Okay, so just the passage level here. But what I want you to do once you finish your passage level is I want you to look back at verse 11, 29, and 35. There's a word repeated here. It's nacham in Hebrew, and this word is in 11 and 35. It's translated as regret normally, and then in verse 29, it's usually translated as change mind. And I want you to look at those occurrences of nacham, and then I want you to think about how they might work together in the narrative, because there's an apparent contradiction here, and that isn't to say there is a contradiction, but there's a way to read this where it would be contradictory. So I want you to think through, like, what's going on there, and what is this repetition of this word doing for us as a narrative device to try to illustrate for us what's happening in the narrative. Okay, and we're going to have a word study. You have a word study example here to help you understand what it looks like to do a word study. And we've got an online Hebrew word study guide. Now, I haven't yet edited this to make it more usable for online platforms. I'm hoping to have that done today, and so hopefully by the time you watch this video, that'll be available to you. If not, just maybe till tomorrow. Maybe it'll be done tomorrow. If I don't have it done by the end of the week for some reason, then I'll make adjustments for you. But I'm hoping to have it done today. And then after that, you're going to complete that, and then you're going to watch a video by the Bible Project on the word Shema. And the word Shema is the word that you're studying. Okay, and so between the word study guide and that video, you're going to learn a lot about that word, which is an important word in the Hebrew Bible. Then our narrative analysis. We've done structural analysis for Exodus. We've done poetical analysis in Jonah. Now we're going to do narrative analysis. And narrative analysis here is going to be kind of like a baby paper. I know you only have a week to do this, and so that might be a lot for you, but it's not a huge paper. And again, like with most things, I just want to see you make solid attempts. I'm not expecting you to get everything perfectly right. I'm just trying to see that you've put in effort. Okay, so we're looking at about 4 to 6 pages total here. And this is going to split up into the how, the what, and then a summary. Okay, that's how this is going to split up into. Okay, and so the how of the interpretive message is that we're dealing with the general narrative techniques, and these come from Fee and Stewart. There's 6 of them, and I just want you to go through those 6 narrative techniques and think about what's happening in the narrative based on those techniques, and then write 2.5 to 3 pages just kind of explaining how those techniques are used in the narrative. Then, based on your word study research, I want you to present the basic meaning of Shema and summarize your conclusions from researching Shema, and then describe how Shema functions literarily in 1 Samuel 15 to help give us the meaning of 1 Samuel 15. And then the what of the interpretive message brings all of that together to say, here's what the meaning of the text is, and here's how we get that from the narrative techniques, specifically the narrative techniques that you've talked about thus far. And so this is just kind of tying it all together. And then in summary at the very end, I want you to reflect on what does this passage teach us about God, what does it teach us about humanity, what does it teach us about how God relates to humanity, and what does it teach us about how humanity relates to itself. These are the typical theological questions that we use pretty regularly, and so that's what I want you to look through. Okay. 1 Samuel 15 is a fascinating passage. King Saul has made a pretty big mistake. And last week we looked at Jonah, and Jonah gave partial obedience at times. Partial obedience is disobedience. Saul here is giving us delayed obedience, and delayed obedience is also disobedience. And so this is going to be helpful for you in thinking through how God is working with his people in Scripture in the Old Testament. This will bring our Old Testament portion of the course to a close. And our next project will focus on a gospel. It'll focus on Luke 15. And then after that, our last project will focus on 1 Timothy 2. Okay. This paper that you're going to be doing is going to prepare you for future assignments. Not only are you going to have to do papers on future classes, but in this class you'll also have a smaller paper to write in Luke, and then you'll have a little bit of a larger paper to write in the 1 Timothy 2 project. And so just want you to get prepared for that. But again, don't feel overwhelmed. If you need help, let me know. I'm here for you. And also, I'm not expecting you to knock this out of the park. I'm just expecting consistent effort. Okay. So if you need any help, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.